Hello, friends. I hope you're having an absolutely lovely day wherever you are today. Today's card is, I think, super sweet. If you know someone who is, I don't know, maybe you just haven't seen them in a long time, or maybe they used to show up to things and they haven't been around for a while, or just whatever reason that, if someone separates themselves out, sometimes they're going through something and nothing cheers you up more than getting a handmade card in the mail. And I think this would be a great card for someone to receive if, friends are just wanting to check in on them and see if they're just busy or if something's going on, maybe something's wrong. So just chicken up on you. And look at that sweet little chicken. She's coming in with her fork. We got all those chicken legs in the background. I think this would, anyone would be encouraged to receive a card like this, to know that people are thinking of them and wanting to check in. So let's take a look at the products that I used to make this one. This is one of my favorite stamp set that Pajama Crafter Stamps has come out with here in the last few months. It's called Chicken and Waffles, and every image and every saying in this stamp set I can see myself using on multiple different cards for different reasons. I love the just chicken up on you. No one stacks up quite like you. We go together like chicken and waffles. I like you a waffle lot. Aren't those just great sayings? And, waffles and chickens, I love it. A very creative set. And I have nothing like this in my stash, so it's very unique, and I just think it's really fun. I love the artwork. I'm pairing that with our spring plaids, which I'm using a lot lately. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and order myself another package because I'm going through it really fast. But let's take a look at what I have together here. I used some dies in my stash to go ahead and cut myself some layers. And I purposely cut them a little bit. I wanted something smaller because I wanted to see these pretty plaids. This fun plaid color palette is what I wanted to kind of bring out. And I especially like this fun teal mixed in. I thought it kind of gave it a retro vibe in the colors. So that is how I chose that. So I'm going to grab something to be a background piece. Hold on one second here. Big piece of cardboard, that'll work. And we are going to stamp some chicken legs on this piece. So here I have our chicken leg. And I don't know if I told y'all this. I have noticed lately in my videos that when I touch the table, the camera moves, and I have to kind of learn how to do this because I've gotten a new craft table in my craft room. And the way it works, I have to have my overhead camera attached to the table. So that's why you're getting a lot more camera movement than maybe you ever had before when watching my videos. So it's kind of me getting used to a new system. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this, and I'm kind of purposely kind of turning it all different directions so that we get lots of variation. I am going to put them a little bit closer together than maybe I did on my last version of this card. Let's see how we want this. Maybe like that. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. Maybe we'll do just a little bit right here to make that go off the page, and maybe over here, just a little one right there. But all right, I think that's pretty good. So I just randomly put our chicken legs all over this background paper. So we're actually going to color these up together. My YR27 is what we're going to start with. And basically, wherever these little lines are in our chicken leg, I'm going to put my darkest color. And I'm just kind of squiggling it. I'm not even like really coloring. I'll hold that up so you can see. Now, we are going to have to do this whole panel because I did not have one colored up in advance. I often do, but this time I did not. So we're going to color these, but you can see how quickly I did it. I'm not, you know, these are chicken legs. There's no uniform color in a chicken leg. So some I may make darker than others by adding more of this color. This is my darkest color. Okay, whoops, right down here's one. All right, I think that got all of them. So that was the YR27. The next one I'm going to do is the YR24. And pretty much just kind of go around all the edges of my chicken leg here, leaving that biggest section right in the center. We're going to put a lighter color there, but on all the other parts of the chicken leg, I'm just putting this slightly lighter color. Now I am trying to stay in the lines, but you're going to see what we're going to do, that if you do get out of the lines, it's going to be okay, because we are going to put a halo around each one of these as well. So you'll see that here in just a second. So now the YR21, I'm going to color in my whole chicken leg. So any white spots over along the edges, and then right there in the center, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way on all of these. I'm blending those two other colors together. And I'll hold this up closer to you when I get all these colored in. Now I like to come back with my darkest color again. That's the YR27. Maybe just along some of the edges, put in a little of the darker color again, because sometimes when you blend out, you lose that darkest color. But you could definitely skip this step if you wanted to. It's not necessary. But okay. All right, so the final thing I'm going to do is take this YR20 and I'm going to trace around all of my chicken legs. And this is just going to help them kind of pop off the card a little bit. And I chose to do this with a cream color because I didn't, if you could do this like in a blue, but I didn't want to stand out that much. So all right, we get that one? Yeah. All right, so there we go. Just like that, we have our chicken legs. What a fun background. All right, so the rest of this is constructing our card. It's going to come together very quickly. I also cut a couple ovals for our sentiment. And for this card, I've colored up this little chicken here. So I used both chickens. On my first one, I used the little lady chicken. But for this one, we're going to use this little fella here. And then from my stash, I thought it needed some other little decoration up here, but I didn't want to take away too much from my background that I had colored up. So I found this little die, but you could do all kinds of kind of things. You could even cut yourself just a straight strip to go across there. There's lots of things, but since I had this, I used this. But you can go through your stash and find any kind of a little something to add that red color up in the design. So before we go any further, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I decided to stamp this in a red, and it just says, "Just chicken in." I love that saying. I think it's so cute. And I'm using the Samba color. Hopefully I got that on there straight. I think so. Straight, just a tad. Just going to check it real quick. I put in my Misty because often with these inks, I have to do it multiple times to get, oh, that did pretty good, to get a deep enough color that I want. But I think this one, well, it's doing pretty good. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's put it all together. So tell me where you're from. Are chicken and waffles a thing? We have entire restaurants here in Texas that are dedicated to just chicken and waffles. So it's definitely a thing here. I am going to put some foam under that before I put it on, but this part I am just going to glue down. And for this, I'm just going to kind of let that, maybe we'll go across this corner this time, about like that, because this guy's kind of coming in from this direction. So we're going to put some foam on the back of these. But this one, I'm going to go ahead and glue down. I'm just putting that in the center of my chicken piece there. Grab some foam. Hopefully I've remembered to not shake the table too much. I don't realize it when I'm doing it until I watch my video back and I see so much shaking. I'm like, I gotta remember to not shake my table. Just one more piece ought to do it. Okay. Okay. And now we'll add our little chicken. I really liked this piece of plaid paper with these chickens. I Like I said, it just kind of had a retro kitchen feel, and I kind of placed him so that his little fork was with the sign, just like that. Just chicken in. I think that would be a great card to receive from someone that you haven't seen in a while. Aren't those adorable? I really like how they turned out. I hope that you enjoyed creating this card. I hope it sparked some ideas. Sometimes it may be not the entire card, but just one little thing might be like, oh, that gives me an idea. And you'll create something totally different with just a little spark of an idea. So that is always my goal, to give you those kinds of sparks and see what you create. So all of these products will be listed below the video. If you're like me and you have nothing in your stash that was chicken and waffles, you might want to check this one out. It's a really fun set. So thank you so much for being with me, and I look forward to crafting with you again very soon. Bye-bye.